guys, welcome to Angling For You. You join me today at Cedar on the Oaks Lakes complex in Sesse, and as you can see from down on the board, we're on peg 53, and today's feature, should I say, is going to be about fishing to islands and aiming to catch those F1s on the shelf, a little bit about the rigs, the bait and the tackle to do that. What we're going to do first is just go on to me preparing the bait, and then you can see what we've got and how easy it is to do, really. So let's get to that. Right guys, so we're going to show you how to do the pellets. So I've got a pellet wetter here. You can just pour them straight into water and then take them out, that's not a problem. So I've got some Sono baits, monster crab here, great stuff. I like to put this in with my micro, so I'm just going to put a little bit in the water and then we'll put some in the pellets after, which we'll show you. So pellet wetters, everybody's seen those. We're at Oaks today, so it's fishery pellets only. Otherwise I would look at using krill. I really like the krill micros, and this is why I'm obviously using the crab flavouring to get that in. So we'll just zip that up and then straight into the water, right under the water, and we're going to keep that under there for about 30 seconds. The reason we do this is I usually do, if I get sort of a branded pellet or something like that, I tend to do them for a little bit longer because they tend to have maybe preservatives or something that keeps them shelf life longer. Fishery pellets seem to break down a lot quicker, so I only do them for around 30 seconds, and that usually gives me the perfect. So with a pellet wetter you can drain them, and this is why it's so good, because you're not going to get any water in the corner of your bait tub like you would normally. I'll just soak all that wet out like so, and then I'll just leave it on the grass to drain, and then we'll come back to that and we'll show you how it goes. Right guys, so we've got the pellets soaked, and I've just put them into a tub, and I'll show you a couple of things about that. So firstly, as you can see, I've got in sort of an EVA style tub, and the reason is I don't want them to dry out, but on the opposite, they can work two ways. So if you zip it and it's raining, then you're not going to overwet them, so that's one reason why it's good. Obviously I've got the hood, but in the summer I just leave it shut over but not zipped, so then air can get in and out, because on the other flip side it can sort of dry it out by the sun hitting the top, and you know it dries it out inside by getting too hot. So I do leave it open a little bit, and that keeps the pellets from drying out. So you can see I've not overwetted them because I don't want them to stick in a feeder. They're quite loose, but they will sink really easily. But what also helps them sink and adds that flavour is, again, with this crab, monster crab liquid flavouring, and now from Sono. So again, all I'm doing is just one zigzag across either way, from both directions is enough, just drizzling it out, not spraying it out. And all I'm going to do is lightly just mix it with my hands, so just so it drops through. I don't want it to absolutely saturate them, but I just want that really crabby flavour, which I can smell now, to come through. Just back of my hand, and it does put a little reddy tinge to them, but nothing major. What we're going to do is I'll show you how much to pot in to start off with. Like I say, we're in summer, and there's a shelf out there, and we're just up on that shelf. So I go for roughly a full cab pot, to be fair, to start, or it will be 2 cab pots to start off with, but near enough full on each one. So get the other section on, and then when you get your other section on to cup it out, what I try to do is keep it pretty much as low as you can to the water. A good thing to put into note is when you ship this out, when you're shipping it off your pole rollers, always have a look behind you, because you can quite easily throw that up in the air, and you don't want to do that. So obviously we're going to just where the ledge starts to go up. Is where I want to go. Turn that over, put that in. And then we're going to go in one more. What we'll do is just get that rig tied, we'll go through it, and then we'll get fishing. Right guys, so you've seen the bait preparation, and you've seen us cup out there, and we've just made the rig while that's been out there. Now I'm going to go through it with you. It's dead simple, really easy. So I'm going to bring it closer to camera so then we can see what we've got. Right, so I'll go to the elastic in a second, but to start off with, we've got a ProGen little chimp float, and that's a 0.3 gram, only short, as you can see between my fingers. It's only a short little float, and that's really important when you fish into these islands. There's lots of little overhanging bushes and snags and things like that that we don't want to get caught on. So that's got it's got the ProGen Gen Pro line. I'll just show that up for you. And we've gone for the 016 version of that today, and that's all the way through. It's a straight through one, and we've got running down the line, we've got 2 number 8 slots, they're ProGen as well, and then two another number 8 slot, sorry. So I've got 2 number 8s at the top and number 10 underneath it. Then I've got a number 8 a little bit down from that, and then I've got another number 10 down about 3 inch from the hook link, from the hook, should I say, because there's no hook link today. And the hook is a KKMB size 18, and as you can see the band's really close, and now I'll explain that why that is to you, because it's really important. We'll just get back on the box and we can discuss that. So before I discuss that, the elastic we're using today is an 8 to 10. As you can see, there's a little bit out the tip of the pole, and that's purely because I want a soft reaction so I can get them away from the island. We've got a little Preston cad pot on there, and like I was saying, what we've done is we've held the hook, the band really close. So when I'll band a pellet in fact, and I'll put that to camera. We're using 4mm pellets, and we're feeding obviously those micros that we've put on camera. So I'm just going to band a 4mm, and I'll walk up and I'll show you why. So as you can see, that 4mm just sits absolutely on the hook, and when those fish come in and grab it, especially F1s, they'll just nick that hook straight away. And they've obviously got soft mouths, F1s, and they're very finicky, quick biters. So I want that bait as close to the hook as we can possibly get it. And the reason is obviously because of those fast bites, we want to hit those bites, and in order to do so, we need to get that bait as close so they're nipping that hook as when they suck onto the pellet. If you've got too much of a tag, they'll grab the pellet and pull the pellet. You get your false bites, you'll miss the fish because they're not grabbing the hook because your band's too far away from the hook. So let me pull the pole back round, we'll get some bait in the cad pot and we'll get back out there. Right guys, so we've got the top kit ready, we're going to get some of those pellets. Just going to fill that cad pot to the top. This time of year I'd be putting in, if you're catching regularly, almost a full cad pot every fish or every other fish. We can figure that out as we go on, to keep those fish there, because obviously, you know, they're hungry and it's summer, so there's going to be plenty of fish. We've got this rig's just touching bottom. We don't want, it will be a little bit snaggy, so we don't want to be having too much line on the bottom. And when we lower these, when we put this in, we want to be lowering it through the fish, and we want to be nice and gentle when we do it. We don't want to try and put foul hook on. Unfortunately, when you fish into a feature like this, it's pretty inevitable that something like that's going to happen at some point, but we just try not to. So I like to put my pellets in from a height. I think it makes a nice noise, and I think it's important. Now, if you see, it may be difficult to see, but the float's dotted down quite a lot. I'll try and do a zoom in shot so we can see. But really essential when you're F1 fishing, unless you're fishing shallow, to dot that float down to the tip. The F1 bites are so quick and they're so gentle sometimes in regards to how they touch it, like that one was. Again, not so on about foul looking. They're so quick that in order to, if you have a full float, sometimes the float only goes down halfway and people don't strike, and that's a bite. That's a full bite for an F1. So I dot it down, so as soon as that flashes under, you're trying to lift into that fish. So like that, so that went straight away, and it only just flashed under, and that's what I was trying to say. They go so fast, those bites, that if you're not dotted down, you'll miss them, or you won't hit as many as you normally would, and that's an essential thing to catching F1s. It's only a baby to start with. Still full of beans, but I don't know if you can see that. It's quite difficult to see, but you just see how that pellet is just on the hook. In fact, I'm going to try, if I can, just turn this fish round while I've got him hooked. I'll try and turn this fish round, hold him a bit tighter, and just see if I can flick this over just so you can see it. This fish has just hooked just inside the mouth. If that pellet wasn't as tight on as what we've put them, that's when you miss those bites. See, that little 18's hook is perfectly nicked it inside the mouth, and that's why it's so important to have that hair as short as you can possibly get it, and without obstructing obviously the hook. And those fast bites, obviously you've seen, that's the reason why we have the float dotted down as much as we can. Into another fish now. Feels like another F1. Lovely fast bite. And again, that's, I keep mentioning it, but that's why we have those dotted down floats, so we can see those fast bites. Nicely off in the net, and that's another reason why I was saying it's the so soft mouth, the hooks come out so easy, and it's a beautiful little fish to end on. Beautiful colours, fin perfect. Lovely, let's get him back. So I hope this video's helped you, give you a little bit of information of how to feed and how to fish and the tackle to do so to go up to islands. Most islands are similar in their approach, where they're shallow and ledged with a slope usually up to it, and sometimes it pays to fish back off the slope, and usually this time of year they like to be up the slope. But thanks for watching. Join us on the Facebook group Angling For You. If you're into more of your pictures, join us on the Instagram at angling_for_you. Tag us in your photos and things that you're getting up to. As always, like and subscribe if you can. Share with your friends. Thanks a lot, guys. Tight lines.